This video is now, I'm not going to be able to explain it all, of course, in 10 minutes or so. But it's a question I've been asked, not on this channel, but in other people's channels. Uh, Anyone that knows me, it's been asked and questioned. And I'm going to touch a little bit on it. It's about what I call the collective. The collective is all information. That's all knowledge as we can perceive it as knowledge. It's everything we can know. But I have not. I've been asked this before. I'm not 100% sure how to explain what that is. And the best thing that could ever happen is nobody believes it. So we have that too. I'm going to adjust this light a little bit too bright. All right. So let me start with, say, psychic ability. A lot of people don't believe in psychic ability. If psychics were real and you could really actually predict what's going to happen, then how come you don't predict lottery numbers? And how come you don't, save as many lives as you can? And how come nobody saw this virus? And how come this and how come that? Well, I do believe that there are people that, I don't know if psychic is the right word, but I do believe that there are a few people out there that can identify something quite clearly. They can pull facts from the past. And here's how I'm going to describe it works. Is, when you have a magnifying glass, imagine a big one, like maybe that big. And you have a big book, and you put the magnifying glass down. Everything in the area underneath the magnifying glass gets magnified, right? And it comes up a little bit. It's just big. And as you move the magnifying glass around this big book from page to page, I mean a big book, obviously, then all of the things that end up falling under the magnifying glass get very big as well. Now imagine a person as a magnifying glass, or they have a giant magnifying glass over them, and they're walking down the street. Well, everything that falls under that magnifying glass, ergo their ability, they can perceive. It's information that they can know. Meaning, if you're, how am I going to explain this? You're walking down the street and then you stop outside and you're looking in through some department store window, and you're just looking at something, and a couple of other people stop maybe a few feet away from you and they're talking. You don't know them, but if you have this ability, you can know things about them. You can know that she just left work, or she is out on her lunch break. The person she's talking to is, hypothetical, of course. This is just, I'm trying to explain what it's like. The person she's talking to has been her friend for about 3 years, but she's using her. She's not really in. I mean, she's friends with her, but it's a convenience. They live close to each other. The other lady is kind of a pushover. I mean, she does, she can call her at 2 a.m. I need a ride here. Okay, she may not want to do it. She kind of works overtime at pleasing people, all the way down to, that she just lost her dog last year, even what kind of dog it was, or things that are, I don't know, how am I going to explain this piece? Things that are important to these people, things that are kind of on the top of their list, trials that they're going through, or things that they're going through. They can be quite highlighted as far as the reality that's around them. Just as we all as individuals, when we go somewhere, we walk somewhere, we have our own reality. We have our own our own life around us, our own way, so to speak. And we cross all the time, and it's just the way that people are. Naturals sometimes can, I really hesitate using the word change because that makes it sound wrong. Someone's going to misconstrue that and turn it into something it's not. But influence what's going on around them. Not just, in other words, they're, just think of them as, well, this is going to sound dumb. The kind of the white blood cells of society, of people. And they're not. That was probably a really stupid analogy, but I just want maybe to, I'm just trying to get people to understand what this is like. So not only that, the people that are on the other side of the window, if you wanted to, you could see what's going on with them, what's happening with them. It depends on how big your little magnifying glass is, and what you're tuned into, what you want to do, or there are so many different working variables, but basically that's what it is. If you're riding in a car and a car passes you, you can pretty much identify everything that's happening in that car. And for some reason, I mean, I don't want people to get the wrong impression. You're not looking through lead walls. You're not. This is not an X-Men thing. This is not. Cool movies, by the way. I haven't seen all of them, but some of them. It's not glamorous in any way. This is not something to be. It's in my life, just speaking for myself, it has caused more. If none of this was happening, then I would probably be happy. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I'm not unhappy, but I mean, everyone always thinks about sometimes what life would be like without, if they were this or they were that, they were this. That's all. Just a little bit of whining there, and I really apologize. Anyway, but I mean, it's important to know that this is, and I'm sure that there's others that are out there. On the flip side, I have tried to. I like watching prison movies, prison shows, like the reality shows about the guards and what they have to deal with prisoners and that kind of stuff. And I like watching Unsolved Mysteries. Of course, I don't think that's on anymore. I like watching. I like mystery stuff that people can't figure out. I'm trying to see if I have a way of being able to identify what happened to some of these people. I don't know. I do know that there are psychics that claim that they have helped police and that police lean on them because they have no leads and whatever else. I don't know if I want to do that, because if I were to be successful once, then it would never end, right? And it would balloon into all kinds of things. I will say this when it comes to that, and I have a few more minutes left. A couple of years ago, I posted online, and I even coded it, and I told the truth about what was going on, or what I believed what was going on in the government and the news. This was around. I started with the that crazy Las Vegas shooter guy that at Mandalay Bay, who they said shot a bunch of people. I started to get involved then because I wasn't working, and I had a lot of free time, and I'm not a real big TV watcher, and I was only in the area I lived in at the time for less than a year, so I had met a couple of people and had a couple of friends. Anyway, long story short, I had a lot of extra time. So being a computer guy, I would have all my computers up like I do now, and I would watch these things and then try to relax and see what I thought was going on. Well, that has gotten me into so much trouble. every electronic device I have is hacked and listened to, and has been over the last 2 years. Everywhere I go, it's followed me through 3 different states. Now, I don't believe it's all government, but I do know that I have been notified that, because I reported it thinking that there were hackers. Well, I was notified by, well, by somebody that it's questionable. Everybody wants to know how. I mean, you can't know things outside your scope. And I made a video about that. It got taken down. I don't know if this one will too. I have less than a minute. But just to be mindful, a lot of people don't like this. They don't like when you can. They want to know why. They want to know how. The government standpoint, of course, I want to make sure that I'm not, some kind of a spy, because that would be a pretty good trick for a spy, wouldn't it? But God only knows. But I also don't want to end up chained to some government table either. How creepy would that be? So, I mean, would I change it? No, I can't change this. This is who I am. I'm not going to change it. I am very mindful about the things I say. And I didn't say anything classified, even though I was prior military. I didn't say anything that was, mean or too personal, like, well, not too, but I did express my opinion about what I thought was right and wrong, and what was going on and what they should do and what they shouldn't do. But that's every American. All right, I have to go, but that's my take on the collective. I hope it makes sense. It's not that you know everything all the time. That's impossible. You know where you're at and what's presented to you, what you see, what you come across. You can reach into it and pull knowledge from it. And I've been trying to think of a way to teach somebody how to do that so that they could maybe understand, but I haven't got there yet. But anyway, thanks for listening. And any questions, please, again, ask in the comments or whatever. Thanks.